Hey guys, it's producer Ross here and welcome to another edition of My ITFC. Today I'm joined by Matt Vu from the U2 on Twitter. How you doing, Matt? How's lockdown been and somewhat back to normality? How you been during it?
Indeed. Well, good morning to you. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever we are, wherever you are watching this.
Yeah.
I've been good. Lockdown's been lockdown. I'm banning anybody from using the term new normal because it's just the way it is. It will never be the same again, but I don't think it'll ever be like it is now. But yeah, no, I've been good. I'm a key worker, so I've been able to just carry on, commuting in, on the trains, which Greater Anglia, thank you very much. Lovely brand new trains that have been completely empty. But yeah, just been keeping on and carrying on, as they say, but missing the football, like we all are. I'm not originally from Suffolk. I'm from an Air Force family, third generation Air Force family. So my dad and my granddad and actually great granddad were all in the armed forces, all moving around. I settled in Suffolk when I was 7 and became a Town fan by accident, really. So I don't tell everybody this, but my dad is a Leeds fan because my grandmother's from Yorkshire. But confusingly, my grandfather, God rest his soul, was a Spurs fan because he's from that part of London. So I've got a real weird mix, but I wasn't originally a Town fan. Don't whisper it quietly. I supported Arsenal for 1 year because that was the year when they won the title. I grew up in Bury St Edmunds. Everybody on my estate was a Gooner. I think it was a bit of a London overspill. All my mates were, and yeah, I've got some photos of me in their Division 1 winning kit and quite a cool Adidas tracksuit, which my Spurs supporting granddad bought me. But then I quickly realised, and it was actually my dad, said, "Why didn't you support your local team?" And I'm like, "Oh, who were they?" And I think there was one guy at my school that supported Ipswich, and he was really, really Suffolk, like broad slang.
Yeah,
right, boy. And yeah, and then I met a couple of other guys. This is when we were like 10 or 11, and yeah, just started following them, and yeah, just the rest is history, really. So the reserve games count.
Yeah, why not?
That first game was Ipswich reserves against Arsenal reserves when the AstroTurf pitch next to Portman Road used to be a grass pitch.
Yeah.
And I went there, and that's kind of the moment when I thought, actually, I'll support the team in blue. But my first proper game, it was Ipswich versus Cambridge United, September 1993 in the League Cup. That was a really, really good team. Obviously, we were in the Premier League. We had a bit of a rivalry with Cambridge United because we'd been battling with them to be promoted from Division 2, as it was then, kind of showing my age a little bit. But yeah, no, remember that quite well. Actually, I found a video of it this morning on YouTube, and just those players and the memories. And but the thing I remember most about it, Steve Claridge's rolled down socks. What a legend! He looked about 40 then.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had any hair either, but no. Maurizio Tirico. Maurizio Tirico. I remember when we signed Tirico and Paz, and we weren't doing very well at the time. I kept on saying, Adrian Paz, he's like this. I think I was like 12 or 13 when he signed. He's this world-class striker. It's going to be amazing. He's going to score the goals. It's going to keep us up. I think he only scored one for us, didn't he? But I remember seeing Tirico's debut. It was against Bolton. I think 1994. I think that was in the cup as well, and we lost 3-0 at home. I think that was the only game he played that season. I think because he just won out the team completely. Because I think he did struggle to settle. She came over very, very young from Argentina's juniors. But yeah, no, just I was a right back at the time, and I had my Copa Mundials with like fold over tongue. I had tape around my ankles. I had like my socks rolled behind my shin pads, like long sleeve shirt, scruffy git. I had like, my hair's all slick at the moment, slightly receding, but I had curly hair. I just really, really associated with him. Plus, I was a bit dirty and tenacious. So yeah, nobody probably remembers me from the Suffolk and Essex Youth 4th Division or whoever I played for at the time. But Maurizio Tirico all the way. Probably George Burley. I mean, it's just the memories of that time were obviously fantastic, and he was in our successful teams before, and it's always nice to see somebody that was successful as a player come back and do well as a manager. I mean, I'm not really sure what kind of presence he had in the changing rooms or anything else like that. You do kind of hear a few stories and what have you, but it's got to be Georgie Burley. I absolutely loved the Anglo-Italian Cup games back in the day. Yeah. So one of my best mates at school, his dad was a doctor. Okay. We didn't go to like posh school or anything else, but I think his parents were both doctors, and they just bought 4 season tickets. Okay. I just basically had a free season ticket for about 3 years, and it was family enclosure, so like really, really low, right kind of like halfway line near the dugouts. And I just remember those Anglo-Italian Cup nights were absolutely brilliant. So we had that. What kit did we play in? The core kit, which fades.
Yeah.
Which like people either love or hate. Yeah. And I remember we played. I think it was 2 or 3 games, but they were just, like an evening game under the floodlights. You're like 13, 14 years old. You've got like Italian teams, and at the time, Football Italia, like, was just like obsessed. And I wish there was. I think it's the best football program ever, and the best. James Richardson sipping on his espresso, drinking, reading. I go off at tangents. You probably noticed that. But favourite game. Stay focused, Matt. Yeah. Favourite game. Ipswich Brescia and Ipswich Salernitana. Salernitana game was interesting because they had Igor Simutenkov, who I think he played at USA 94, and the week before they beat AC Milan. And I think I'm not sure. I think we either beat them or drew against them, and we were like, "That's it. We're as good as AC Milan." But I wish I paid more attention, because when we played Brescia at home, I think Andrea Pirlo played for them as like a 17-year-old, and I think Ancelotti was their manager. Mm-hmm. And I loved going back, looking at team sheets and thinking, bloody hell, there was like a 15-year-old Ronaldo or somebody like that. I mean, obviously I haven't seen a 15-year-old Ronaldo, but yeah. So those nights were pretty special. Just, I don't think the football was great. No. So yeah, but yeah, they were pretty cool. I guess a little bit like the Anglo-Italian Cup, it was when like all of the stars aligned and stuff like that. But last season, AFC Wimbledon, last gasp winner by Caden Jackson, just because it happened right in front of us in our little bit in the Cobbold Lower U2 section. It was literally like there. Yeah. And then they all ran over to us, and it was just like, I wish I enjoyed the moment more. And it's quite funny because I went with a friend of mine called Smithy. Hopefully he'll be watching this. Hi Steve. And everyone just went mad. And suddenly our little section with like 10 people in it, it felt like hundreds there. All the players ran over. We all went down like to the pitch side. Obviously nobody went on the pitch because it's illegal and you get banned and all that. But I wish I enjoyed the moment more because there's coverage of it, and I get a bit of a slating. I mean, obviously nobody knew it was me, but I'm like recording it on my camera. Okay. So you can see everybody going mad with the players, and then this is like a big dude with a baseball cap on, holding his phone up. And everyone's like, "Who's that wanker with the phone?" Is it like modern football type thing? Typical modern football fan not watching the game. And I was like, "Oh man, that's me." But yeah, that goal was just amazing.
Your favourite Town kit, of course, in the background. You're wearing a kit as well. There's plenty to choose from. Yeah.
This one. So yeah, it's not a genuine one. It's one of these like score draw remakes.
Yeah, of course.
And I had the original. I bought it from Debenhams. That was when I was like, I'm a proper Town fan because I've got this like lovely lace-up shirt, and it's so cool. It's absolutely timeless. But yeah, I bought this one signed by the flying Canadian Frank Yallop, signed by him. But yeah, that's my favourite one. Getting beat by Man U, 9-0. 9-0? 9-1?
9-0. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at upper school. I went to Kegs in Bury, and everyone, a little bit like I supported Arsenal like 5 years before, everybody supported Man U, apart from like 4 or 5 fine, upstanding members of the community supported Ipswich, and that was it's just humiliating, really. And it's even worse when you're kids, because like kids are bullies and they're pretty relentless when it comes to that sort of thing. Obviously, going through a couple of relegations as well, just like limping out season before last, a bit of a whimper. I've mentioned it on Twitter a few times actually. You know, would we have been any worse off than what we are now had Paul Hurst stayed? And I don't know, I had a feeling that he might have, you know, possibly changed things around. And because I think we beat Swansea, didn't we? Mm-hmm. That last minute winner, I think it was. That was kind of gave us all a bit of optimism. But yeah, relegations and obviously that humiliation at Old Trafford as well, which is pretty crap. Best moment as a Town fan. Promotion, Wembley, couldn't get tickets. My Man U supporting mate did though, which is shocking. But most memorable thing is him ringing me at the end when everybody was singing, and that was just, I'll always remember that. It's the same. I've tinged with a little bit of sadness and regret because I wasn't able to go for some reason or another, but just that, nothing beats a Wembley playoff final. Whatever you think about the playoffs, they're great when you do well, but they're rubbish when you're not involved or like lose. So yeah, Ipswich going up through the playoffs with that fantastic team, fantastic manager. Yeah, definitely that for me.